Hello, my name is Amos Ncube. I'll be presenting on circular economy parts in the olive oil industry with a life cycle assessment look into environmental performance and benefits. The olive oil sector in Italy has a significant economic, environmental, and cultural role. Extra olive oil is considered as one of the food products with good health functions. Despite its economic relevance, the production process of the olive oil has been known to cause the depletion of fossil fuels, as well as waste generation and land degradation and air emissions. And on waste generation in particular, the sector itself produces about 30% of olive pomace cake and 50% olive meal waste, and this equates to 80% more waste being produced than the actual product. However, these waste products offer opportunities as potential feedstocks material to recover platform chemicals, materials, food and feed, and energy such as biofuels, power and heat. From the literature, there has not been relevant studies considering the full evaluation of the olive oil sector in terms of comparisons between the linear production processes as well as the circular production processes, which is what this study is trying to do in order to evaluate the whole system. The aim of the study is to evaluate the environmental impacts associated with the production of extra virgin oil. Primary data was obtained from 2017 to 2018 at De Rusi. EcoInvent 3.5 database was used, as well as available literature. Calculations and hypotheses were also performed in the absence of data. The functional unit of 1 bottle of olive oil was used. The recipe method to midpoint 2016 was adopted, and the software used was CIMA-Pro version 9. The system boundary was from get to get. The system boundaries were identified using physical boundaries of the company, since all the operations examined are carried out by the same company. The collaboration with the oil mill owner allowed us to outline a conceptual framework of the investigated system, which is presented in this diagram. The system examined was divided into two systems. The first system, which has a boundary covered in red, included the agricultural and harvesting phase. This phase includes the preparation of the agricultural land, the cultivation of the olive groves, as well as the harvesting. The oil extraction phase is the industrial phase during which the olives are weighed and then milled. There is an initial washing phase in which the olives are freed from pruning residues. Then there is the crushing process in which the olives are ground and reduced to a paste to extract the oil. The bottling phase takes place within the company, which is equipped with a bottling machine and a labeling machine. The oil is exclusively bottled in glass bottles. Then the cap is placed, and finally the labels. The bottles are then placed in cartons of 6 and subsequently sold. The transportation of the bottles to the store was not included in the analysis. The circular production, which considered the valorization of grape pomace and waste oil, was considered in the system boundary covered in green. The extra olive oil and energy recovery from olive pomace considered that the grape pomace had accounted a higher value as a core product in terms of energy allocations. So it was possible to create a visual extended biorefinery process in order to enhance its value rather than disposed as waste. Valorization of waste cooking oil was also considered. The focus was placed on the valorization of waste cooking oil by widening the boundaries of the study system. It was possible to enhance the used vegetable oil by producing biodiesel through the trans-esterification process in an extended biorefinery at the plant. The production process is accompanied by byproducts such as pomace, seeds, and wastewater. An exergy-based allocation of impacts among core products was performed where oil had 37%, pomace accounted for 52%, seeds for 8%, prunings 2%, and wastewater almost zero. It was insignificant. This was done in order to preliminarily assess the potential of impact decrease by developing circular patterns that upgrade waste materials. We therefore analyzed the linear production process to identify environmental hotspots. And the agricultural phase had the highest environmental load, followed by the bottling phase, and lastly by the olive oil extraction phase. In the agricultural phase, the hotspot inputs were the fungicides as well as the use of fertilizers. And on the bottling phase, the main issue was the use of the glass for packaging. After having identified environmental hotspots in the linear production phase, we therefore proposed improvements in the agricultural phase to replace diesel with biodiesel, replacing electricity with the energy that has been recovered from olive oil, from olive pomace at the olive oil extraction phase. And on the bottling phase, we propose to use lighter glass bottles, which are available in the market, thus foreseeing reductions in all impact categories. The diagram there here shows the linear production process, the first generation core products and the second generation core products, and it is also showing the interactions of all these value-added products with the linear production system. And in analysis, further LCA analysis has proved that environmental impacts actually reduced, especially the marine and ecotoxicity impact categories due to the use of organic fertilizers and biodiesel, which cause huge reductions in environmental impacts at the agricultural phase. So in conclusion, the environmental impacts of the business as usual linear production pattern was analyzed and identified possible improvements. The major contributions to almost all impact categories analyzed were determined by the agricultural phase, followed by the bottling phase, and lastly the oil extraction phase. The production process is accompanied by byproducts such as pomace, seeds, and wastewater, which can be used as feedstock material instead of regarded as waste. The valorization of byproduct brings huge environmental benefits. With this, I thank you for taking your time to listen to my virtual presentation, and I hope to get your feedback. I have added my contact details on the next slide. Kindly get in touch with me if you have any questions regarding my presentation. Thank you once again.